Well, hello there. Welcome. First Artist Qlizard video. I'm not an artist. I'm not an artist. I don't know what else to name this channel, but here it is. I announced this channel on my main channel, which is just a normal Qlizard channel, and I said I want to make a channel where I just draw and do random stuff like that. And here it is. Here it is. I really like drawing. I took a class in drawing in middle school, and I took a class in drawing in high school. Again, these are just like minor classes. And honestly, I haven't really drawn much in like my childhood. And I'm kind of past the point of where I can take college classes of drawing unless I really go out of my way to do that stuff. So yeah, I'm not much of a drawer, but I am pretty not terrible at tracing, not tracing, but like drawing from a reference. I'm pretty good at copying from a reference. Obviously anyone can trace, right? But drawing from a reference, I think I'm pretty decent at doing that. Making my own drawings, nope, not good at all. Don't really have my own style. I haven't really been drawing all that often, to be honest. But I really like drawing, and I want to, take it a step further. And honestly, doing the whole YouTube thing is kind of beneficial to be able to draw, because there's a lot of things you can do if you can draw on your own. And so this is kind of a channel where I just want to practice drawing and doing drawings. I have a few ideas. Of what I want to do, but at the end of the day, this is kind of just a channel to make videos and not post them on my main channel. That's the main reason. I could post these drawing videos, or videos talking about drawing on my main Qlizard channel, but that channel is so full of garbage already, which is why I'm making all these different channels, just because I want to make sure that my main channel isn't flooded. And if you're for some reason interested in my stuff, well, you can subscribe to certain channels that have certain outputs, right? But this channel is mainly just gonna be me drawing. The software I'm using Mac OS, so this is Mac OS, right? And I'm using Affinity Designer 2, which you can buy from the App Store. It's not a drawing software. I think drawing software, a lot of people like using Photoshop, and a lot of people like using for what's it called? For drawing, a lot of people like using, I think Clip Studio Pro or something is called. Let me search it up. Really professional. Actually, Clip Studio. Is it Clip Studio Paint? It might be Clip Studio. Yeah, I think it's Clip Studio Paint. I think it's been recommended by Wani and Poonies, but yeah, I definitely want to look into that. Probably should look into that, but I'm using Affinity Designer, which is a graphic designer software. So not really a drawing software, but you can draw on it. And I'm pretty sure any good artist can draw on many different software. It probably doesn't matter what software they use. They can probably draw well. It might just take more time. That being said though, I'm not an artist, so it's a struggle. But yeah, some ideas that I have for the channel is just I like to do drawings. Really, I like drawing for like thumbnails for videos, because I play a lot of gacha games, and usually when I roll for gacha, I roll for characters I like how they look, and I like to draw those characters, and then I can use that drawing as a thumbnail, but also draw it for fun as well, which is why I have the Zinnia drawing. This is going to be my profile picture of this channel, which is why I have it here. So that's one thing. I've done a few of drawing like that. I really do want to draw pictures for like thumbnails and stuff as well. But also just making thumbnails. Here's an example of a project. Not like really a project, but like I do a lot of Genshin thumbnails, and this will get its own separate video. I do all my Genshin thumbnails here. And again, this is the graphic designer software. And so being able to do stuff like this, which I'm sure you can do in other softwares, right? But also, again, YouTube stuff, I need to work on my YouTube channel banner. I have some ideas, but again, that's just something that I want to work on. So stuff like that, and also just regular drawing. Guys, don't laugh, don't laugh. I'm practicing. I mean, I only get myself 45 minutes from this, and oh my god, I did this a month ago. I did this over a month ago. Oh my god, I need to get back in drawing. But yeah, I really do need I literally just need to sit down and draw. But again, those are some ideas of videos I can do. Just daily drawing, like just practice drawing, I can make a video of that. I can make a video describing the thumbnails I'm making. I also mentioned in a video on my main channel that I want to do videos where I'm just drawing but chalking, because I don't really have an opportunity to talk about stuff, because a lot of my videos, I don't talk. A lot of my videos I don't talk, and two, if I do talk in my videos, whether that be on the Qlizard channel, on the Trainer Qlizard channel, or whatever, right, I talk about on topic stuff. I can't really ramble, and I feel like a good place to ramble is streaming. I don't really want to stream, or like I don't really have a good way of streaming right now, and honestly, I'm not, while I want to stream, I don't think it's really my style of content making. And so, yeah, a place that I can just ramble and talk about random stuff is while drawing. And so that's a series I want to do as well. That being said, though, when I draw and I talk, it's hard to focus on both. So it's going to be a struggle. I don't know how exactly I'll do that. But anyways, for this first video, I'm already rambled for 6-7 minutes already or something. I wanted to talk about my profile picture on the main channel. So this is a drawing I did. And I wanted to draw this essentially. I could have easily traced this. I could have easily upscaled this, but I wanted this. This is Zinnia, by the way. This is special costume Zinnia from Pokemon Masters. It's like Zinnia is a Pokemon character from Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and she got like a special costume in a gacha game, right? And I wanted to use that as my profile picture because I really like Zinnia. And I thought this was a good image. And so what I wanted to do was, I easily could have traced it, right? But I wanted to, I guess, use it as a reference and basically draw one for one. That's the idea. And of course, we have the Zinnia screenshot. And then we also have the Zinnia color. By the way, to get like the view, there's a lot using this the Affinity Designer software. There's like a lot to do with it, and sometimes the images outside of your box doesn't appear, and so things you can do, I think it's like view, and then it's like, I forgot what it was, but like grid locks or something, or view mode, clip to canvas, I think. Yeah, see, I'm learning, guys. I'm learning. So you go to view. For some reason, sometimes I do stuff on the outside and it doesn't show, and I do want it to show because I use it as place to put reference images. Again, I don't know how to use the software. I should probably learn. Like I probably should take like a class on how to use the software. But that's where the idea came from. And then, so yeah, basically, I'm starting the video here. This is basically me going through the process of drawing my profile picture. From basically this profile picture I'm using for I want to use it for 3 of my channels. I want to use this profile picture in Trainer Qlizard, but I haven't really gone around to drawing the alt colors because we have there's like a different alternate color, right? But anyways, it started off as a sketch. Here's the sketch, right? I just upscaled the sketch. I made the lines thicker for my profile picture so that's more easily seen. This is the 5, which is what I posted on my Instagram, right? So this is just a normal drawing. I think I'm using a pencil, probably 1 line thickness, because I'm using, oh, by the way, this is the software I'm using, but I am using different hardware. I'm actually using a drawing tablet. It's the Wacom Intuos Pro Medium, and it's a pretty nice drawing tablet. The problem is that it's Pro, which means that it has buttons on the side and it's Bluetooth. I wouldn't have minded a normal one, but with the buttons, I'm able to like save, able to like make my lines thicker or smaller, being able to like undo and stuff, which is what I do with the pen. But yeah, that's what I'm using. It's the Wacom Intuos Medium Pro. I could have done with a normal one, not a Pro. I think a normal one would probably be the same size, but it doesn't have the buttons on the tablet, and it doesn't have what's it called? It doesn't have wireless, so wired in. But wired in is fine. So yeah, these are the lines I'm doing, right? This is the kind of the thing. Again, I am trying not to trace. I'm trying to reference it. And when I draw faces, I've drawn a few faces, not that many. But like the most important thing that I find hard is like the face angles, right? Like this chin angle here is like super important because I find it it really makes it affect the face, right? If you have a more acute angle, it's gonna be more sharper chin. But if you have and usually when you have a sharper chin, usually like male or like not older characters, but male and taller characters have that more acute angle. But if you have more of a obtuse angle, more obtuse, then I think usually females and especially younger characters like boys and girls have that more obtuse angle with their chin. If you're drawing in, I guess this is an anime style, right? But I think it's pretty interesting because if you, I have this on lock, but if I unlock this here, and then I select these lines, right? And then it's pretty important to see like, okay, how am I doing with the angle? You see, it's not exactly the same, there, but it's something that I could consider. I mean, that looks pretty close to me if you ask there. So like, again, I'm not tracing, I'm not trying to like copy the angle one for one, but I think it's pretty, like that's something to consider. And honestly, look at all these curves. I don't know how to group these all. And okay, by the way, this is how I do it. I set a bunch of lines. So I just draw a bunch of lines, and then I freaking group them together with Command G, which is like Control G, but like because I'm using Mac OS as Command G. I group all these lines together. It's such an archaic way of doing it, and I'm sure like people who actually draw or actually use drawing software or designing software, I'm sure this is like a terrible way of doing things, but I mean, that's the way I've done things because I don't know how to friggin' draw. But that's my idea. So first off, you get the sketch going on, and I'm like, okay, I like this angle. I don't like this angle. I like this line, and I'm trying to use proportions. And so like I'm like, okay, so I draw the face here, and then when I'm drawing the hair, all right, try to draw them in a similar proportion. The neck, okay, see this neck how it starts here and it goes over there. I'm gonna start it here going over there, and the hat angles, and okay, I have this much of space between these two flaps of hair, so I'm gonna leave that much space out the hair. You know what I'm saying? Like the eyeballs, okay, so it's kind of halfway to the face, so we're gonna draw this halfway to the face. We have this mouth, it kind of leans more to the left here, so we're gonna lean it more to the left. You see that? Like that stuff, what I mean? Like that's how I like draw it based off of like the reference image, right? And then once I have that down, you know, pretty good lines, I go on to drawing more, because I don't know, this is what like normal artists do. I have an outline. Okay, so this is the outline, right? This is the outline. I think this outline is pretty solid. You can see that, yeah, the coloring, I'm still working on how to do coloring. And so, I mean, the outline should only have black, but here there's a yellow line in my outline. It's pretty bad. But here I have the general like shape, you know. Then when we have lines that are too much, you know, we can go to vectors. Again, I have this locked, so I mean it's good to have it locked. But I have these lines. Do I have this locked? What the heck am I even selecting here? Outline. Okay, yeah, I have these like lines, and if you double tap it in this program, you have vectors, so you can change the line, so you can make it smaller, shorter here. So you see how it goes over. So if I want to push it in to remove that, stuff like that. Clean up my lines and make the lines thick, so when I zoom out, it looks good, right? Also with this brim, this brim here actually I did not draw that brim. I used more of a shape tool. You can see how like at the end here I like erase it, which is another thing you can do because of this drawing pen. When I draw a line, I can also look at all these freaking curves. Oh my gosh, look at all these curves. And then you know, what's it? If I'm drawing lines, why am I drawing a white line? Yeah, when I'm drawing a line, I can like draw it, and then there's different ways of editing it. So if I draw it too long, I can go to this tool, the node tool, to like shorten it. Or what I could do is I can flip my drawing pen around and erase it. Erasing it in this case doesn't work because it's white and black, so that doesn't, you know what I mean, right? But anyways, that's kind of the process of doing the outline. Sometimes I might use shapes, and then really here is where like the fine details come into play. So I noticed that here, I mean, it's pretty low res. This little bow on her top hat is pretty low res, and so what I do was I kind of angled the character on the screen. It's really nice because in Pokemon Masters, you can kind of like display the characters here, right? You can display them, you can spin them around. That's pretty nice. And so this is basically the same pose, but instead of an emote, because this is an emote, this is more of like the character in game, how they look, right? I'm copying, not tracing, but copy. I'm copying like the bow. So you see like there's a thing there, a rhombus, and then or thing there. So I have a thing there, rhombus, thing there. You see how the rhombus isn't really angled, so it doesn't really look good because usually at this angle it's supposed to like kind of go in because the bow goes in at the bottom here. But, you know, I don't really have that. I'm not that good at imagining things like that. And so I could curve it a little bit, but, you know, it's fine like that, I think. Throwing in the eyebrows. Yeah, the thing about Zinnia is she has a very, oh, there goes my Wacom tablet being weird. Yeah, the thing about that, I'll mention after this, but when it comes to Zinnia, she's pretty simple to draw. Her hair is symmetrical. So if you go on this picture, her hair on both sides and in the back is symmetrical. The only thing different is the front. The front, she has a she kind of has a middle flap that leans towards her right, and then she has kind of another flap that leans to her left, right? So we got two flaps of hair, and like, you know, you kind of keep those into account. But the other sides are symmetrical. So this flap of hair here is exact same as this flap of hair, and then this flap of hair is the exact same as this flap of hair. Which is something to keep in mind. Maybe I should have made this flap of hair shorter. But yeah, it's kind of different. It's kind of difficult to imagine. And then yeah, her shirt again. She has a lot of layers going on. She has the first off, she has like the little frilly bits that comes out of her neck. You see how this is more angled inwards, and when I drew the frilly bits on mine, it was kind of goes down. I could have angled this more. Probably did try to experiment with that. And then she has another collared shirt with a gem. So this is the collared portion with the gem. And then she kind of has like a she kind of has a suit on, which is this little bit of the shoulder. And then she has like another like a what's it when you like graduate from college or high school, you put those things on, the you know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? You put the thing over, it's like a scarf, but it's not really a scarf. So yeah, she basically has many different layers on her shirt there. And then of course the back of Zinnia's head is the same. She has the little like double thing coming up, but the thing is the tie on her back is different. Her normal design and the special costume design, this bow on the back is a little bit different. I think on her normal design is beads, but on this design is not beads. It's like a bow similar to her top hat. Right, so we got that design down. But you saw with the Wacom tablet, guys, I have so much issues with my Wacom tablet. It just loves fighting back. Sometimes it disconnects, sometimes it doesn't charge properly, sometimes the touch doesn't work. Right now, I've turned touch off. I could turn it on. Okay, now I'm using my fingers, but yeah, touch off is the way to go. The reason why touch off is important is because sometimes my Wacom tablet, I'd be drawing, right? I mean, this is a known issue, by the way. This is a very known issue. I'm not sure if this issue is only on Mac OS. It could be on Windows as well, but I'm not sure exactly like where this issue applies. But I'm assuming it applies to only Mac OS, but who knows? But when I'm drawing, for example, I'm drawing here, right? So I might draw a line, and then when I draw, I'm touching the tablet. So I touch the tablet, and then when I'm done drawing, my pen goes up, right? It doesn't touch the tablet anymore. But sometimes what happens is when I'm touching the tablet, and then it goes touch on, touch off, like it has a little glitch, and then I release my finger from the tablet, but it still like draws, like it's still stuck on the drawing, even though I have released my pressure off the tablet. And then after that, you just can't draw anymore. It doesn't work properly. And the fix, because I've searched online, there's like a bunch of, because a lot of people have had this problem. And it seems like it's an issue that hasn't really been fixed yet, or at least it hasn't been fixed last month. It may have been fixed now. But it's a problem with the keeps disconnecting and causing the pen click not to work. It's a current problem. There's a few ways to alleviate this problem. One is resetting your computer, which sucks because now you have to like save your project, you have to turn off your computer and restart it. But there's this post here on the Wacom website. I mean, if you want to type this off, what you do is actually you go to Activity Monitor, which is basically Task Manager for Windows. So Activity Monitor for Mac OS is like Task Manager for Windows or something. I think that's what the equivalent. And then you have to close this right here. com.wacom.io manager. If you close that, it fixes the problem. For some reason, this like being active causes the problem. And so what you want to do is you want to force close this, and it helps the problem. No idea why. Another thing that helps never have this happen is turning off touch control. If you turn off touch control, this issue never happens, where like you get stuck on writing even though you release the pen. So this is a really weird problem, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that. I always write notes when I'm doing projects. I have notes, like there's a bunch of notes that I've written in all my projects, which help me refer back to like, oh, okay, I need to do that coloring thing. How do I do that coloring thing again? I can go back to a previous project and read what I wrote about how to color. So that's one issue. I had so much issues with the Wacom tablet. Anyway, I mean, this is perfect, right? This is why I say I love to talk and I give a bunch of side tangents. And so this is why this video, I want to make this channel and I want to make these videos so I can actually talk about this stuff. Because I don't ever have a chance to talk about this stuff unless I make a video on it. So anyways, we got the outline done, which is cool. And then now we need colors. Alrighty. So the thing is, with the Affinity Designer, there is two personas. There is a well, I think there's multiple personas. There's a pixel persona, or designer persona, and then there's a pixel persona, and then there's an export persona. Obviously, export persona, probably exports the project, right? But we have a designer persona and a pixel persona. And honestly, I don't exactly know the benefits of differentiating. Again, I'm not a graphic designer. This is probably a graphic designer thing and an Affinity Designer thing, if you know how to do this stuff. But I work in the designer persona. The only time I work in the pixel persona is if I'm using the back of my pen. Because right now we're in the designer persona, right? But if I flip my pen around and use the eraser feature, again, this is kind of like built into the pen because the pen kind of has a program to it, and then the software that I'm using understands the pen, which is a pretty interesting concept. But here we go. I am now working in, like, I'm pretty sure this is the pixel persona. I don't know. Is it the pixel persona? I'm not sure. But like, because the pixel persona here has an erase feature. I think is this the erase? What's the erase? Yeah, this is the erase brush too. See? You see it's like the same, right? So it's like, anyways, I think what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to color in the pixel persona, because if you color, you have a lot more tools. Like you have this fill tool, you have this erase tool, and so it makes it so that, I mean, you probably can do more like things with the pixel persona. But I color with the designer persona, which it probably isn't good because I'm literally just using like vector brush tool to color. And that's my way of coloring. So coloring is pretty bad for me. So what I do is, oh my gosh, I'm gonna open this and then you guys are gonna like vomit on the inside. Oh gosh, okay, yes, I color every individual bit. This is why coloring takes so long for me, because I'm just bulks at it, right? So like, let's say I want to color the hair, alright? Oh gosh, you can just look at all these. Can I zoom out for you guys to see it better? I'm not sure. Yeah, it doesn't zoom in the words. But you see, like, I have all these colors. I have all these colors. Here's my hair. I can turn off the hair color individually. Awesome, right? And with the hair, if I open, oh my god, I open another group. You guys are just looking at this, and I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do, but this is what I'm doing. I outlined the freaking hair. Is there a way I can unlock this? I think I can unlock this, but there's a way I can show. Yeah, like what I do is I literally, like, on my outline, I'm literally tracing. And so I use so for example, right, let's deselect everything here. I should probably lock this just in case I do something dumb. Okay, so let's say I'm drawing, like, I have this drawn out and I want to color it red, right? Okay, what a normal person would do is they would probably use some kind of a fill tool. And let me see if I can do this. I don't even know how to do this. Can we fill? I don't know how this works. But I think what people do is they have this box, and then they have like a tool where they can fill it. They can fill it with whatever color they want. But for me, what I do, this is bad. Actually, we should use a better example. We should use a pen. Okay. What just happened there, guys? Guess what just happened? My Affinity Designer crashed. Yes. My Affinity Designer 2, for some reason, it just crashes very often. And so yeah, it did not remember a lot of stuff that I just did. Like I have this line that I think I was erasing this line showing the difference between vector or the what's it called? The designer persona and the pixel persona. But anyways, yeah, my Affinity Designer crashes very often. And so constantly I need to save my projects just to make sure that if it crashes, it doesn't like forget everything. So yeah, basically if I would have drawn there, it would have forgotten everything. But anyways, I was talking about my coloring, and my coloring is just absolutely like, you guys are gonna see this and you guys are gonna be like, what the fart is going on here? Okay, so again, this is probably not how you're supposed to do it, because if you do it this way, you're just gonna waste a bunch of time like I do. So I don't recommend this. But if I want to color in like this box, right? See this box here? I want to color in that box. Well, what a normal person would do is they would probably use a fill tool and they would just click on this and it fills. But for me, what I do, it's so archaic. I see this and I'm like, okay, so we got that. Now I'm going to use the pencil tool again, and I'm going to deselect here. I'm going to deselect, and then I'm going to use a pencil tool, and then I want to select my color. I want to paint this red, right? So we're going to select the red color, and I'm going to outline this, right? But I want to outline this, but also I want to make sure that the outline is underneath, because whatever's underneath, it goes underneath like that, right? All right, and so what I'm doing is I'm taking my pencil, maybe. Guys, I'm not even lying. My Affinity Designer literally crashed again. It literally crashed again. What the heck? Okay, well, I'm trying to explain this thing, but I can't explain it because my Affinity Designer keeps literally crashing. I don't know why it crashes. But anyways, yeah, as I was saying, it's not the best way of coloring. It's not the best way of coloring. I get that. I want to color that in, so we're gonna use the paintbrush, or we use the pencil. I probably use the pencil here. We make sure we deselect that outline things. We're gonna use our pencil. All right, Alright, well, my Affinity Designer has crashed a third time. I'm literally never going to be able to explain this. What am I doing? What am I doing that's causing it to crash? I don't understand. I literally do not know why it crashes like that. Is it playing with that too much? I don't know. I'm trying to explain how I color, and it just doesn't want me to explain because it's so terrible how I color. Is it going to crash again? Are you going to crash again? This is literally what I did last time. Okay, haven't crashed yet. Okay, put this under. Okay, this is how I color, guys. Alright, trace around the edges. Alright, we're tracing around the edges. Oops, that went out the edge. Undo. Alright. You guys are gonna see the suffering. This is why it takes me so long to color. Usually what person does is they'll probably fill this in. It'll take like 1 second. They'll select the color they want, they fill it in, and they're good to go. What I do, yeah, we outline this. Yeah, oh, that's a little bit of white down there. We gotta get that. Okay. All right, we got that done. And so now let's increase the width. Let's deselect that line. Let's deselect it. All right. And now I'm sure there's a keyboard command to deselect. Now we up the width. Oh yeah, baby, we can fill this in. Yup, filled in, baby. Up. Oh, that's fine. It's just I need to put this underneath the black. Okay, we have done it. We have successfully done it, and now I'm gonna group this all together. Group all these little things together, and we got it. Yeah, that's how long it takes me to color that box, when normally it probably should take you like, I don't know, 1 second. You just click your fill tool and get it done, you know? So yeah, you can see how coloring would take a very long time. So if I'm doing hair, you can look at all these curves I've done. All these different curves. Literally just me outlining the hair and filling it in. Outlining the hair, there's an outline, filling it in, there's some outline, that's me filling it in. You know, these are some outline lines. So yeah, it takes a while, guys. It takes a while to color. And when it comes to color selection, look, you know what? It could be really easy. This is what I avoid doing because I want to be a better drawer, and one of the things is developing my own colors, right? So here's a color picker tool. So simply what I can do is I can use the color picker tool. I can touch Zinnia's hair. Boom! I have the perfect color to color Zinnia's hair. But the thing is, I don't want to do that, because if I do that, it's kind of cheating, right? It's kind of cheating. And if I want to draw my own stuff, I need to be able to make my own colors. And so, yeah, I'm looking at this hair. If I want to make this color, I just make it on my own. So I look at her hair. I'm like, okay, that's the color I want. And so I just go on the color wheel and then I select the color. And then what I could do is I could go and try to find out the color that I want. Let's do an example for face. So her face is this light skin color. So I might go with a little bit of an orange. Might go over like here, like that. And then what I would probably, I mean, this looks a bit dark, so I think it's supposed to be a little bit lighter. So then I have that color, and then what I can do is I can just draw over her face and then see like, okay, do I like this color? Do I like this color? And if I draw and I'm like, okay, it's too dark, and that's where I can edit it. So instead of like going in and trying to just copy the color with the color selection tool, I can simply just, try to figure out the color on my own and make it on my own. Which is what I did for all these colors. None of these colors I simply just took from Zinnia. I made all these colors on my own, which is why her face looks a bit different. I don't have the shading in yet. But yeah, I just try to make my own colors that way. And if I think it's too dark, then I edit it again. Make it a little bit lighter, I think, over here. Man, her face is really light. Oh, that's a little bit too blue. Maybe like this. Oh my gosh, did I just replicate her skin color? Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. I'm telling you. I mean, it's not the same if you look very closely. If you look very, I don't know if this is gonna show up on video. I don't know if this is gonna show up on video, but you can clearly see that there's a difference, right? But man, I got pretty close. Man, I got pretty close. See, I literally just tried to make her skin color, and it worked. And so that's one of the things I'm trying to do is making my own skin, not my own skin color, but just making my own colors. Is very simple, just to copy and paste the colors. But I think if I try to make my own colors using the color wheel, it will really help me with my own like way of drawing. But anyways, we have the coloring. And again, I'm using my Poopy persona because I think you're supposed to use the pixel persona to color, but I'm using the designer persona. I don't know. I'm a Poopy persona. There's the title. And then I think here's the difference, right? Here is one of it. I'm using the pixel persona down here, and one of them I'm using the vector persona. And yeah, with the vector persona, I mean, there's a reason why I didn't go with the vector or the pixel persona. I forgot what it was, but anyways, again, we're building up to our Zinnia. So now we have the basic coloring to it. There we go, touch off. I would have glitched, but because I had touch off anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, so we have our Zinnia color, but that's not enough, right? We have the shading. The shading is super important here. And so with the shading, what I did was, I can't believe this video is already 30 minutes long, over 30 minutes long. With the shading, you just kind of copy the shading, right? But some of it's obvious. Usually, when you do hair on anime style characters, usually you can kind of go darker skin underneath the hair. That's pretty obvious. Darker beneath the neck. With hair, usually it's light above like the middle portion. It's kind of darker near the very back, and it's kind of darker near the tips. And even some hair, you have white splotches. So I know when I draw Hinami, she usually has some like white splotches on her hair, kind of to represent light, right? So here's the shading that I did. You see how it transforms the drawing? You see, this is without shading, and this is with shading. You see how it like looks better? Doesn't it look a lot better? And yeah, so when it comes to shading, there's a lot of things that go with shading. And the thing about shading is that I don't know how to shade properly. I'm literally just drawing another color over a color. You see, if we literally remove the color and we just show the shading, these are the portions that I shaded. So literally what I did up here was I just drew. I just literally drew in this color for shading. Same thing with the little orbit bones here, I guess you can say. The nose I shaded a lighter color. The hair I shaded a darker color here. The hair here I shaded a lighter color. So a lot of the shading is literally just me doing another color. But I know how when you do shading properly, Like the gem here, I'm literally just using 3 different colors for the shading. But some of the shading has kind of a fade effect to it. As you see here, this eye has a fading effect. Her eye, her cornea has a fading effect here. I guess is a gradient. That's the word. The gradient effect to it. Her tongue has a gradient effect to it. What else did I do a gradient on? The shadows on her bow and ribbon have a shading effect. Here is a shading effect. Here's a shading effect. Here is actually just a single color, right? So with this fading effect, the gradient effect, I do it with an effect. As you can see here, some of these are an effect. This is me erasing, but as you see, this FX is the effect. And so what I do with the effect is pretty interesting here, because I think this is how I can get away with shading without really needing to shade. This is me like AI shading. It's kind of like an AI shading. It's using an effect, right? And so what I do is her pupil is 2 separate colors here. Her pupils is 2 separate colors when I drew it in without the outline. So without, let's see. Without the shading, her hair or her eyeball is 2 different colors. You can see the black part is up here and the red part is down here. So I literally did 2 separate colors. But when I'm doing shading, it's actually one singular subject. It's actually one singular subject here. Well, technically I combined them. But once you do the effect, so if I delete this effect, or when you add a gradient overlay to something, so you can add it by going, I think, down here, or I forgot how you added an effect. So a way you can add an effect. I forgot how you do it. But anyways, you add the effect, and usually it makes it one color. And so what you can do is you can go into the gradient effect. And so this is what I do, right? I go into the gradient, and usually here, let's just make a gradient. Sure, skin color. Oh, I probably should not do this out here. Okay, I should not do this in here. I should do this outside. So if I want to do a skin gradient, right, I can do something like this. All right, and then I want to add a gradient to it. And so what I can do is I can select this, and then I think it's one of these. Oh, it's FX down here. I can add a special effect, and so I'm going to add a gradient. And see, when I add a gradient, it removes the color. And so let's say I want to do a gradient. So I select this color thing here, and then I click on this dot, and then I click on the color. And what I can do is I can use this color find tool and go to her forehead and get this darker color. And then once I get the darker color, I can select the color here, and then boom, that makes it so one side of the gradient is that darker color. And then I can go on the other side here. I don't think this is the best way of doing things, and I can do it again with the other color on her face, the lighter color, and then bam, we can make it so it looks like that. And so now I have a gradient of her skin color. But what I can do is I can make the gradient more stronger on one side, stronger on the other side. You can see how it changes color here, right? You see how it changes color here? I'm gonna show it to you guys so it's clear on how this is how I do shading, gradients. It's all about the gradients. Manually shading, nah man, just do gradients. You see how it changes depending on how you want to do it. And then you can also change the angle to it here. The angle, you can change the angle to it to make it so that it angles. I want the darker parts to be up top, so let's do it there. You can also shift how high or low it goes, or how much it like. So you can just play around with this. But anyways, that's what I did with the eyeball. You saw when I added the effect, it changed it to black and white. And so when I added this effect, I changed the color. I did the whole select thing. I did the color, I selected black, I did that color, I did red. You can see here the X scale is actually 17, and then the angle is this angle right here. So that's how I do shading. At least when I say shading, it's 2 ways of doing shading. It's one of doing that gradient thing, which again seems to be working well. Probably not the best technique of how to shade. I don't recommend you do it that way. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe I do recommend you do it that way. I don't freaking know. Then another way is literally just using a different color. Again, if we take out color, I just use a different color on her, like a lot of her hair. There you go. So that's shading. So we got the shading done, we got the outline done, then we got the color done, and then we're almost done here because we need a background. You see Zinnia, you don't see this background unless you have 5 copies. Unless you've completely maxed out the character. And because I've completely maxed out Zinnia, she gets this little background with a little like dark flames come up. And so we just use that for our background here. Just use it for our background. That being said though, if you notice this background, there's some white dots. If I didn't have those white dots, the reason why I have white dots is because if you look at this thumbnail on my color persona, you can see Zinnia. Oh, that's weird. You can see Zinnia has the whites in her eyes are not actually colored. I'm taking advantage of the white background for the whites of her eyes. And because of that, when I do the background, if I don't have these white dots, it would have been grayed out. Oh, and her teeth as well. And so I needed those white dots in the background. I should have added those colors into my poopy persona, but I didn't. So that's why I had to add the colors in the background for the whites of her eyes. And then yeah, this background was actually pretty interesting because I did a few interesting things in this background that maybe you guys would appreciate, right? So I did these lines, but the thing is with these lines, you can have different brush strokes, which is pretty cool. So if we go on to our, and again, this is not just for Affinity Designer, this is for all things, but you can have, your pen, your pencil, and then you can have, I don't know, where do you find it? Because I have it here. Brush, ink, brush, inks. This is the thing, and this is the number, right? So how do I do this? I think I have to select it, and then when I select this, I can go and make it a different brush. How do I do it? Is this the other persona? No, it's not. Definitely not. Huh. Well, there's a way you can change the brush, which I have forgotten how to do. Is it up here? Nah. Is it right click? How do I change the brush? Well, there's a way you can change the brush that I, for some reason, am not getting right now. How do I do it? I'm trying to figure this out without needing to cut here. How do I change this brush? Controller blend mode, normal, not definitely not that. Oh, here we go. This is brush size. If you want to change the brush size, because there's pressure. You can like press harder on the Wacom tablet, and it makes a thicker line, right? I don't know how did I change the brush? I'm pretty sure. Okay, wait, hold up. Is it pencil, stroke? No, I'm pretty sure it was. I don't remember. God, I'm actually just confused of how I did it. But anyways, there's a way you can change your brushes. Don't know how I did it, but I changed it to whatever this brush is. I did, wait, why is it not appearing now? Yeah, this right here. For some reason, I can't see it. Is this in a way? Oh, it is in a way. Yeah, well, whatever. I did brush, inks, eighth, and then this is the thickness of the lines, right? And then I also did another effect on it, and this is the outer glow. Because you see in, I mean, it's better clearly shown in game, but you can see there's some like effects surrounding the glow of these shadow things that come out. And so this is a new thing I did. I did an outer glow, which is a lighter purple, and then we mess around with the opacity, radius, and intensity there, and it gets that effect. But yeah, I mean, that's it. That is it. Where do I don't have her eyeballs. Where's her eyeballs? Background. Layer 2? Where did I... That's the background. Wait, where are the eyeballs? Did I delete the eyeballs on accident? The whites of the eyeballs? Uh-oh. Well, it doesn't matter. I can probably just not save. Yeah, I may have deleted the eyeballs. Unless it's in groups. No. Pixel. Yes. It is pixel. Then how did... I'm trying to find out the different brushes and show you guys that. What the heck? I mean, there you go. You guys can see the glow. You guys can see that glowing effect, right? Woo, cool. How do I change the brush type? More? Brush selection? Textures? Where is it? There's a menu, guys. There's like a really nice menu. Is it this menu? Oh, I don't know. What did I do, guys? What did I do? Blend mode? Wet edges? I mean, beats me. Anyways, I think that is it. That is it. Just kind of want to show you guys. Again, this is the first video. I mean, it's a long video. It's a disgustingly long video. But I just kind of want to show kind of like my thought process going behind at least this particular project here. I mean, showing it in full is not going to work because for some reason I lost the whites. But yeah, there we go. Hopefully more artist videos to come. Hopefully that this video wasn't completely boring. I will cut up some stuff like when I crash. I'm gonna cut that stuff out. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. You're beautiful the way you are, and I'll catch you in another Artist Qlizard video.